With documentaries, I've had experiences where the people I interview don't always say what I want them to say, like you right now. Yeah. Well, you gotta deal with that and just incorporate it with, like, your film.
So your goal is to educate people about them and encourage people who may be interested in this to engage not just in watching the film, but perhaps to get involved in the industry.
And it's not even an industry, it's just do it.
And I think one of the things you're saying, just do it, that's an important piece, that you don't have to have a huge budget, you don't have to have famous actors, you don't have to have a big, expensive equipment to do it, that anybody with a camera and a motivation can start and be engaged in it.
It's very freewheeling, and a lot of the personality of the film comes from the personality of the people who made it, compared instead of like a Hollywood film where it's more like it's centered around the audience where they're going to make profit from. Painting is nice, all kinds of art is nice, but this art is different because it's part of the new technology is advancing, and this is an art form that has opened up with the technology that has advanced.
It's sort of on the cusp. You're on the cutting edge of it. That this perhaps is
the cutting edge of art.
Interesting. So that the timing is such that because technology is more affordable now, or everything, and certainly younger people are getting more engaged in this, then it is a way of sharing, and I see it a lot in the youth. I mean, I look at you and sharing your energy and your interests and your passions with the world in a new way, in a way that 20 years ago wasn't going to happen.
Now I'm going to hit the streets and ask some people about some independent movies they recently watched.
I just finished seeing a movie called Wendy and Lucy. My favorite part of the movie actually was when she went into a supermarket and was trying to steal food, both for herself and for her dog. And she was stopped by this guy in the store for stealing. She explained to them that it was just a can of food for her dog and she really needed it. She said she was actually, afterwards she said she forgot to pay. He didn't believe her, so he called the cops. And she was just basically ended up sort of messing her up, right? But it was just the interaction between her and that one guy who was just this checkout clerk who was super adamant about her having broken the law, or her being a bad person.
Out of all the movies in the world, why did you go and see that one?
I think I saw that movie because I read that it was a really good movie. It wasn't by one of the big studios. It was a much smaller actor, and it was much more intimate. It was about sort of her life and her experiences. It felt really real.
It told her story.
It told her story.